From stones frozen mid-fall to massive boulders balanced on the edge of collapse, these places prove that gravity is not as certain as we think. Across cliffs, deserts, and sacred mountains, nature has created formations that look seconds from disaster, yet they remain standing. Get ready. You're about to discover 13 rock formations that defy gravity and leave even scientists questioning what's possible. In the misty hills of North Yorkshire, England, idle rock rises from the moorland like a stone placed by invisible hands. Shaped over 300 million years ago from ancient sandstone, wind and rain slowly carved away its base, leaving a massive slab balanced on a narrow pedestal. From certain angles, it looks seconds from collapse. The air here is quiet, almost tense, as if the landscape itself is holding its breath. Standing before it feels like witnessing gravity hesitate, a silent reminder that nature's balance is often more fragile than it appears. On Norway's western coast, where the North Sea crashes without mercy, Canesteinen rock stands sculpted like a stone goblet. Over thousands of years, waves and sand eroded its base faster than its top, carving a narrow pedestal beneath a heavier crown. From certain angles, it seems impossibly delicate. Watching the tide strike its foundation, you can't help but wonder how long balance can resist the sea's relentless force. High above a Norwegian fjord, nearly 1,000 meters above the water, Kjeragbolten hangs frozen between two vertical cliffs. This massive glacial boulder was wedged into place thousands of years ago as ice retreated and carved the surrounding mountains. It is held there by nothing but natural pressure. Below it, only open air. Standing before it, or daring to step onto it, feels like balancing between certainty and collapse, where gravity seems present, but negotiable. Deep within a quiet Finnish forest, surrounded by moss and pine, Kumakivi rests in a position that feels physically impossible. This massive oval boulder, carried and deposited by retreating glaciers thousands of years ago, balances on a curved bedrock surface with an almost invisible point of contact. From the side, it looks ready to roll at the slightest touch. Visitors often try to push it, testing its stability, but it never moves. Standing before it feels like witnessing a frozen accident, a moment where gravity seems delayed, suspended between motion and stillness. On a steep hillside in southern India, a 250-ton granite boulder rests in a position that defies instinct. Known as Krishna's butterball, it has remained motionless for over 1,000 years. Geologists believe it was shaped and exposed by natural erosion, yet its placement feels accidental, almost temporary. In 1908, even 7 elephants failed to move it. Standing below it, you feel a quiet unease, as if gravity is watching, waiting. In the red deserts of Utah, Mexican Hat Rock rises like a sculpted monument against the open sky. Formed through millions of years of erosion, its wide sandstone cap was carved as wind and water wore away the softer rock beneath it. The result is a massive stone balanced delicately on a narrow stem. From a distance, it looks intentionally placed, almost engineered. As the sun sets and shadows stretch, the formation seems to hover, suspended in a moment that feels too precise to be accidental. In Utah's Arches National Park, a colossal 3,500-ton sandstone block rests on a base that appears far too narrow to support it. Shaped by millions of years of erosion, the softer layers beneath were slowly carved away, leaving this towering imbalance exposed to wind and weather. From below, it feels suspended mid-fall, as if time itself has paused the collapse. One day it will come down, but standing before it, you realize gravity can afford to be patient. In the vast emptiness of Australia's Northern Territory, giant granite spheres rest across the desert floor in formations that seem unstable by design. Known as the Devil's Marbles, these massive stones were shaped over millions of years as erosion rounded and split ancient rock masses. Some appear stacked, others fractured, many poised as if ready to roll. At sunrise, they glow deep red against the barren landscape, creating the unsettling feeling that balance here is temporary and silence is only waiting for movement. Rising sharply from Spain's Mediterranean coast, Peñón de Foix stands like a stone fortress emerging straight from the sea. This towering limestone mass was formed millions of years ago as tectonic forces lifted ancient seabed rock above the surface. From a distance, it appears detached, almost floating against the horizon. Waves crash endlessly at its base, carving at its edges. Facing it, you feel the weight of something that should not stand so isolated, yet refuses to fall. In southern Spain, El Torcal de Antequera unfolds like a labyrinth of stacked limestone slabs, shaped over millions of years by relentless karst erosion. Ancient seabed rock was lifted and fractured, then slowly carved by wind and rain into towering piles that seem carelessly balanced. Massive layers rest on narrow contact points, some leaning at unsettling angles. Walking among them feels like moving through a frozen collapse, where gravity appears delayed, as if the entire landscape is quietly deciding when to shift. In the vast red desert of Wadi Rum, a towering sandstone formation rises from the sand like a giant stone mushroom. Over millions of years, powerful desert winds eroded its base faster than its crown, carving a narrow pedestal beneath an enormous upper mass. The imbalance is striking. From afar, it looks as though a single gust could tip it over. Standing before it, surrounded by silence and endless sky, you feel the fragile precision of a structure shaped by time and held together by nothing but gravity's patience. In the volcanic wilderness of southern Arizona, towering rock columns hold massive stone blocks in positions that seem mathematically impossible. Formed from ancient eruptions and sculpted by centuries of erosion, the balanced rocks of Chiricahua rise like suspended monuments against the desert sky. Some tilt unnaturally, others perch on impossibly narrow supports. Standing among them feels disorienting, as if the landscape itself is frozen mid-collapse, waiting for gravity to finally reclaim its hold. Perched on the edge of a mountain in Myanmar, Golden Rock balances at the brink of a sheer drop, its massive form barely touching the ground beneath it. Covered in shimmering gold leaf and crowned by a small Buddhist pagoda, it appears suspended between earth and sky. Geologically, it rests at a precise center of gravity, yet visually it feels impossible. At sunset, it glows above the valley below, as if held in place not by physics, but by faith itself. If you thought gravity was being tested here, wait until you see what time and pressure have done elsewhere. Next, discover 13 geological marvels that terrify science. Places so extreme, so unexplainable, they still leave experts searching for answers. The Earth isn't done surprising you.